Hello, Rebel Pals. Thank you so much for joining me today. Today's topic is how to move up in life. This is something that I want to talk about because there are a lot of people who are facing challenges in life, depression, stagnation, unhappiness, just feeling stuck and not really knowing what to do, not knowing what direction and what path to take in life. And I hope this video will help shed some light and maybe just give you some wisdom in what to do and how to figure out the next step and how to move up in life. Hello, Rebel Pals, my special VPs. Welcome back to my channel. Number one is do not be satisfied with stagnation. Do not be satisfied with being in one place. Do not be satisfied with not growing at all. Life is about growth. Yes, it is not good for you to be superly or for you to be aggressively ambitious to where you become depressed because you're unable to attain your goals. But it is also very bad for you to just be stagnant and not growing at all. Not learning, not growing, just wasting your time because time waits for no man and you cannot turn back the hands of the clock. So rather than just being satisfied in not growing and not moving up the ladder and not adding any type of knowledge to your life, not learning and unlearning things that are really not good for you that you've learned in the past, you want to take some time to reflect on where you want to be. Let's say short-term goals versus long-term goals. So short-term goals will be where you want to be and where you want to see yourself in 2 years. Then for long-term goals, you want to think about where you want to see yourself in about 5+ years. But let's start with the short-term goals. So just think about where you want to see yourself 2 years from now. Where do you want to be? If you have a good job and you're making, let me say you're making $50,000 a year, you have a bachelor's degree, and you feel like you're satisfied with that, just imagine if you can double that in 2 years. Now, money is not everything. Money does not buy or bring about happiness, although that is for people who have money, they will say otherwise. They will say people who have never experienced wealth are the ones that actually say money does not bring about happiness. But I digress. Now, just imagine what doubling your income can do for you. Just imagine the amount of debt that you have right now, or let's say you're one of those lucky people who have generational wealth or who were able to go to school with full scholarship and you got out of school, you received your bachelor's degree and you have no student loan, you have no credit card debt, so you're completely debt free. But just imagine if you're able to double your wealth and you're able to grow your wealth and start building wealth so that way you can retire early as opposed to waiting till you're 65 years old to retire. So now I'm talking based on my experience. If I knew, I would do things differently. First of all, I would not take all those student loans that I took to go to school. But I mean, sometimes we just had to do what we had to do because we didn't come from money and we had to struggle on our own. So it's okay if you're one of those, you don't have generational wealth, you don't have your parents to help you going to school trying to obtain your first degree. That's okay. You can go ahead and take the student loan so you can get that degree, because just with a high school certificate, it's nothing compared to having if you have a bachelor's degree, you have a master's degree, you have a PhD, you cannot compare it with someone who does not have those. Yes, there are people who did not go to school, did not graduate college, and they are multimillionaires, they are billionaires, they're founders. So if you are thinking, okay, one day I'm going to be a founder of a multi-billion-dollar company, a social media company like Facebook or Twitter, yes, it can happen, but how many of those do we have? It's just a handful. So unless you are super lucky and super driven and one of those that just happen to be among those handful, then chances are you're not going to be one of those multi-billionaires in the future? If you didn't graduate from college, then what is your plan B? Okay. Then the other thing is, let's say, yes, you're working at fast food restaurants and you've been there for years. You can elevate yourself by growing, by having this longevity and growing. So of course you can increase your income that way. That's good. You can build a better lifestyle for yourself. You can go on vacation, all of that, right? But let's go with the average. Let's go with the fact that you want a better life. 2 years, 5 years from now, you want a better life. What do? What I'm saying to you is that you need to move up the ladder by planning and thinking about your future and learning new things and growing. Don't be satisfied with the bare minimum. Do not be satisfied with stagnation. Do not be carried away with what you're going to do. Don't be satisfied with how life is going to be 2 years from now based on social media. Let's say being a content creator. For example, I have people talking about, they'll just be a YouTuber. What if something happens and YouTube blows up and there's no more YouTube? Or, the world is changing. The world is evolving. AI is taking over. Something happens to where you're not able to depend on that. You're not able to have your income from being a YouTuber. Then what? What is your plan B? So that's what I'm talking about. Do not be satisfied with mediocrity. Do not be satisfied with stagnation. Don't be satisfied with just being put, with just being in one place. You need to think about growing. Learn, educate yourself, and just know that with life, you're never going to stop learning. That's a long number one, but that's my number one suggestion and tip, okay, for you. Number 2 is for you to embrace challenges. Embrace people saying no to you. Embrace the fact that your parents don't want to help you. Embrace all of that, because with life, with growing, there's a saying that people do not grow in comfort. You're not going to grow when everything is comfortable and everybody's saying yes to you. You're going to grow when there is struggle, when there is a resistance for you to grow, for you to push back, for you to struggle to grow. You're going to improve yourself when people say no. You're going to try to get yes. Unless you're one of those when people say no, then you just stop and you're just down and don't want to get up. But then what kind of life is that? You want to think about how to change your life even if people say no. Even if everything that you're trying is not working out, is just falling apart, you want to learn how to pivot. You want to learn how to come up with something else that helps. You want to try different things. You want to do your research on what to do next. Don't be satisfied with just accepting defeat. Don't just allow yourself to stay down and never get up. You have to try. Because with life, when you fall down and you don't get up, that's actually the definition of failure. That's the definition of people who do not succeed. The difference between successful people and those who do not succeed is that successful people are willing to do what unsuccessful people do not want to do. So you don't want to get up again. You just want to stay down. Then what? You're going to stay down forever? Where are you going to go? Where is your life? Time is not waiting for you. Time is not waiting for you. And the longer you stay down, the longer you refuse to try again, the more depressed you're going to become. The more you're going to fall into this depressive state. And if you're thinking that God is just going to do it, you're just going to wait for God to do something. Well, I have bad news for you. You have to do something. You have to take that step first. You have to take the action before things can just start moving. So let's say you have a set of domino. If you don't push the first domino, the rest of the dominoes are not going to fall. You have to push that first domino, and then everything else will just follow through. So rather than staying and waiting for God to do something, rather than staying and waiting for your parents to say yes, when they really want to say that they really want you to just take that step and fly, Because even if they say yes and they help you today, that means they're going to help you for the rest of your life. Because at what point will they be able to say no, that you will be able to push yourself to say, okay, I got it. So do not be satisfied with people saying yes to you all the time and doing everything for you. That's just going to make you so lazy, so unmotivated, and not able to follow through with things, not able to think for yourself. It's just going to prohibit you from being able to be creative. It's going to reduce your creativity. So you can only know your potential and you can only know how creative you are when you actually try, when you don't have that person that is feeding you with all these creative ideas, when you don't have that person that is helping you with every step of the way. When you try something and you do it yourself, you're gonna grow. The next time you do it, it's gonna be easier. The next time you do it, it's just gonna keep going and become easier. The more you face challenges and the more you're able to overcome the challenges, the easier life is gonna go and the higher you're gonna climb. When you fall, you know how to get up because you have fallen so many times and you have gotten up. But if you fall once and you refuse to get up, or you fall once, you get up and you fell again, then the second time you refuse to get up, you just stay on the floor, you just stay down, life is just gonna eat you up. People are just gonna step and walk all over you because you are on the floor. And then you're just gonna be sad and you're gonna be depressed and you're just gonna be crying and you're just gonna be thinking, what the heck kind of life is this? So, well, there's two very important tips that I am giving you. I wish I knew this 20 years ago, especially the first one with, going to school and just making sure that I'm not racking up this bill because in the future you're going to have to pay it off, okay? You're just thinking about your future and working towards it, and don't allow anything and anybody stop you from moving forward, because you might look at the time and say, well, 5 years from now is so long. I'm not going to take this step if it will take me 5 years to accomplish. But let me tell you, time flies. Time flies when you're having fun. Time flies when you're having difficulties. So if you look at the time and say 5 years is too far from now, let's say you want to go into medical school and you feel 5 years is too long. I'm not doing it. Listen, the time that you're going to take to try to figure out what you're going to do next, you will see that people who decided to take that step to go into medical school or to do that thing that you decided it was going to take too long to do, you will still be in the same spot thinking, what do I do next? Why they're done. They're completed. They've completed. They've graduated. They've accomplished that goal. But you're still there thinking, what do I do next? Or you have gone and tried A and that didn't work, and then you pivot to B and you're still pivoting. You're still nowhere. You're still down there. You're still down there. You're still nowhere. The 5 years has gone. So don't be scared of going to take that step. No matter how long you think it's going to take it, because before you know it, the 5 years or the how many years you think it will take, it will be over and you will be up there. And when you look back, you're going to be happy. You're going to be glad that you took that step. Unless it's something you really just don't see yourself doing. Unless it's something that you feel like, no, that's not for me. I'm not going to be happy doing that. Because honestly, there's nothing worse than spending 5 years trying to accomplish something. Then you accomplish it only for you to look back that, no, that's not really what you want to do in life. That's a waste of time, a waste of money, and a waste of effort. So think and decide. But while you're trying to decide, keep trying, keep learning, keep doing your research, so that way you know at least you're adding value to yourself, you're building yourself, you're building your confidence, you're building your self-esteem, and you're climbing higher. Even if you're not climbing higher in accomplishing the goal, but at least you're climbing higher in who you are, in your self-worth. And that goes a long way, because people who have high self-esteem, they're not people pleasers and butt kissers, and people do not take advantage of them. You're not desperate for anything because you know who you are, you know your value. So you need to start now. If you're one of those that are down, that just feel lost, you don't know where to go, you don't know what to do, start by going on Google, start by going online and start searching on how to build your self-worth, how to build your confidence, and then start thinking about how to take the next step, what to take, what direction you want to take your life, where you want to see yourself 2 years from now, 5 years from now, and start working towards that goal. Do not be satisfied with stagnation. Do not be satisfied with mediocrity. Do not be satisfied with the bare minimum. Don't be satisfied with that. Do not embrace people saying yes to you all the time. Don't look for yes sayer to you. You want to look for those people who are going to help you to become a better person tomorrow by yourself. Not people who are going to spoon feed you, okay? But if you're one of those, you were born rich, your parents are rich, they're wealthy, hey, it's good. They should help you. They should help you with that initial seed money for you to start building your own company, I would say. That's good. You're lucky. But there is only a handful of that. So for the rest of us, for the rest of the world, the average, the norm, this is what this video is for. It's not for the Elon Musk children, of course. They might not need it, but maybe they need it. I don't know. But I'm just saying, for the rest of us that are not from money, they're not multi-billionaires, not multi-millionaires yet. I say yet because yes, we can become millionaires if we want to. We can become billionaires if we want to. We just have to take the steps and work towards that. So for the rest of us, this video is for those who do not know what to do. They don't know where else to take their life. They don't know what path to take. They're down on the floor. They're depressed, they're sad, they're lonely, they're discouraged, they're unhappy. They have a chip on their shoulder. They're mad at the world. They're mad at people. Just know that there is hope, but that hope begins with you. It begins with knowledge. It begins with empowerment. And it begins with you figuring out what next step you're going to take. But how do you figure that out? Do your research. Listen to my videos, and that will help motivate you. Motivate yourself and keep going. That's all I have for you today. Thank you so much for joining me today. Please don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to like and share this video. And if you hit the like button, if you hit the notification button, please press all so that way you're notified, because YouTube has it as personalized. I just found that out. So change it from personalized to all on the notification bell. That way you can get notified whenever I post new videos. Thank you so much for watching to the end of this video. Come again. I will see you next time. Bye.